So I'm here to tell you that Zuffa boxing is bad. Really bad. Or is it? Let's discuss about what's the current issue with Zuffa boxing. And they haven't even had an event and they're already trending right now, which is actually a good thing. And we're also going to be discussing about the letter of Mauricio Sulaiman. And he seemed concerned about an entity that's trying to bully boxing and what's really happening. And personally, what do I really think about Dana White's Supa boxing promotion or TKO boxing? That after this intro.
Powcast Sports, the number one independent sports voice of the Philippines.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that Powcast Sports has been recognized by FeedSpot as the number four podcast, number four, not yet number one podcast, I guess in the Philippines. But, our show is going global and we're doing this in English. So, by the way, just wanted to congratulate in advance. Zuffa Boxing Zero One is going to be finally having their event Friday, January 23. That's right now in the Philippines. But since we're in the Philippines and it's happening in the US, in Las Vegas, at the Apex, they call it Meta Apex Las Vegas. This is formerly known as the UFC center something. But yeah, it's happening there, January 24 morning. So I'm gonna be doing commentary for this fight. I think it's a great card. Callum Walsh versus Carlos Ocampo. I'm leaning toward Callum Walsh. Dana White is leaning toward Callum Walsh, I think. But at least I think it's still evenly match fight. And this is what we want. This is what Dana White said that he wants. He wants the fight that we wanted to see. He wanted well even matchups, and he's a big boxing fan. And I still remember him watching a UFC event and he's watching Canelo Alvarez. So I'm not gonna be surprised Canelo fight for you, Sufa. Hmm? Anyway, uh, here's the question: is Sufa not good for boxing? There's has been a lot of conversation about Sufa boxing, and it kind of worrying to some people. And I saw that WBC president, who I respect and I love as well, WBC. The green belt is the belt that a lot of Filipino boxing fans want, and I think it's the same the in the whole wide world, and WBO, WBA, IBF also. Um, so, there was a video that from Mauricio Suleiman. I'm not gonna show it here. You could just search for it. But everything I say here is legit. I seen it myself. He was saying that there was an entity bullying and just doing things that's against the traditional way, or the one that the way that doesn't take care of the boxers, the safety and well-being, and yada yada yada, either financially or well-being. So it's kind of worrying, especially when a WBC president says that. And even the WBC president actually had an open letter. Let me see if I can show that to you here. I think I've shared this on Powcast Sports Facebook page. So if you're not yet following Powcast Sports Facebook page, please do so. We have basketball, boxing, and MMA. Since see what I did there. Why am I speaking so fast? So that's Manny. Here's the open letter from Supreme Boxing. It's a long letter, but technically state that you know what? Should I read this? Let me read this for you guys. Everything is going to be all right. Unfortunately, our sport is currently in the headlines all over the world, but for the wrong reasons. A powerful entity worth billions of dollars is shouting in an attempt to make itself heard regarding its intent to enter boxing and dominate the sport while eliminating promoters and sanctioning organization. There you go. Yeah, so from that statement itself, it is a scare kind of to existing promotions and sanctioning bodies, because initially, from what we understand, Dana White and Zuffa allegedly, if Mauricio is talking about them, is they don't want to use sanctioning body, I mean the traditional bodies that gives the belt. So that's gonna put people out of business, right? Their aim is to alter the landscape of boxing in pursuit of profit cannot be ignored, and it needs to be seen for what it is: attempted takeover of people's sports, which should not be owned and dominated by a single entity. This effort includes spending millions of dollars to modify and introduce new laws in the United States of America, and they have used money and influence to buy testimonials from promote scripted interviews on network that they own. Money can buy many things, however, no one is rich enough to buy back their past or erase their actions, which are facts. Glory, history, reputation, service, and integrity can never be bought. It is as simple as that. Boxing is the greatest sport in the world. It is one of the that offers opportunities to those who come from humble beginnings and overcome obstacle hoping to become someone in life. Those girls and boys who dream of winning a gold medal for their countries or winning the WBC green belt to become a world champion. Let me read the second page. The only reason the WBC exists for the boxers is for the boxers. Before, during, and after their years in the ring, in these times of uncertainty, fighters all over the world who have worked tirelessly to achieve everything they have earned should know that the World Boxing Council has their backs, and it will continue to do so unconditionally. Boxing is composed of WBC, WBO, IBF, and WBA titles. Those titles means the world to those who are able to conquer them. Boxing has promoters such as PBC, Top Rank, Golden Boy, Matchroom, Queensberry, Taken, Samson Boxing, Zanfer, Latin, KO, Don King Promotions, and hundreds of other promotions or companies around the world. These companies promote boxing within the industry that provides opportunities to boxers in a free market where the majority of the money generated in each event goes to the boxers themselves, period. There is no entity, league, person, or champion larger than the sport of boxing. It is a worldwide sport that has thrived for 150 years and counting, giving millions of fans memories that will remember for a lifetime. Boxing has also evolved and changed its rules, continuing to do so in order to make the sport safer for those who enter the ring. Don't worry, everything will be all right. Just keep doing what you're doing. Long live boxing. That is coming from Mauricio Sulaiman, the WBC president. A heartfelt message to the boxing community, and I understand where he is coming from. Now, that's why this is a big um, goal of work for Zuffa Boxing. So again, generally speaking, I believe Super Boxing wanted to do UFC style, but like I've said this before, that kind of style of promotions where they don't use a sanctioning bodies in boxing. I think someone else doing it. If I'm not mistaken, Misfits Boxing is doing that. They're regardless if you say they're pro or not, they're pro. They get boxers are getting paid, and they're fighting the same traditional way as boxers. IBA Pro is doing that. IBA is a sanctioning and a commission. It's an all-in-one solution, much like what Sufa want to do. Maybe the only difference is that Supa has this large network and influence that could really influence a lot of people in the boxing industries, and they have been doing so even they haven't been promoting, and then they're just gonna start promoting. For me personally, yes, it's gonna endanger some of the traditional way of boxing, and it could put people out of business. This is much like I was thinking Airbnb put a lot of hotels out of business, or business have gone down. Uber, social media has put television and newspaper out of business. The digital world, Netflix has put cable out of business. The evolution and the innovation that can't be stopped. I'm not saying that Sufa is gonna do something great, but Sufa is really threatening in a way because they wanted to do s- they do not allegedly they do not want to follow the same way as the other promotions is doing. But I think that stance has changed a little bit from what I've heard. Now again, I'm from the Philippines, and I'm just reading the news. And I think Dana White, in his last statement, he said that his boxer, and I think he's trying to get Usyk or Jai Opatai has just signed, and Jai and the other boxer, especially the boxers that already established themselves, they're thinking, their mindset is like they wanted to get the WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO belt, but sooner rather than later, and this could happen. Dana said the promoters, the sanctioning body will still do their own thing. They do theirs, right? So the young amateur boxers, if let's just say suddenly they signed young boxers, and then the Dana White continues to promote for 20, 10, 100 events, they're gonna start establishing their own brand, and from that, if they are successful in creating a great promotions, creating their own belt, then people or the younger guys are gonna start wanting to be a champion of that belt. And the history is gonna be built. So I guess that's in a way threatening, but in the past that has happened. As you know, WBA was the first sanctioning bodies, and then the WBC came, the WBO, and then IBF, because of they wanted to improve previously what are they felt was not sufficient or wasn't right, so they want to do something different. But you know uh I understand people are just trying to protect tradition, and rightfully so, and some protecting their own business. But this could be the start of a new thing in boxing, or not. And we are witness, or going to be witness. Dana White, I like the promo of Zuffa Boxing, where said, boxing is presented the wrong way. It hypes me up, honestly. But I also feel for the traditional. I just hope that there is a way for the WBC, SUFA, and everyone else to work together, because I do also agree that if suddenly one entity would control all of these things, it will become a monopoly, and the global connection of boxing, which is exactly what's happening. Like right now, I have a promotions here in the Philippines. It could fight a promoter abroad, but if they do that, it will be harder. Yeah, and just much like much like what UFC is right now. UFC champion cannot fight a one champion, and they have their own thing. One championship has their own thing. Brave has their own thing, and regardless, whoever claims that they have a better fighter, the people are always gonna wonder who's the real best of the best, because one championship fighter in MMA cannot fight a UFC fight champion. So that is always going to be the case. So the thing about fighting the best out of the best, so suddenly someone do their own thing again as well, nah, they're not fighting. So there's always going to be an argument. There's always going to be there's strengths and weaknesses in this type in different systems. But generally, I felt like, um, as a fan, it's good for the boxer to get opportunities. It's good for the boxers to get jobs, and it's better because I mean that's 4 times a year. Some promoters couldn't even promote as many, so this is good, and I think competition is always great. I think it helps the status quo. It helps the other promotion elevate themselves, because if they're comfortable in what they're doing, and yeah, we gotta be honest to ourselves. Boxing isn't really has not become the top tier sports in recent years. Um, you know, because of a lot of issues. So I think this could kind of challenge the existing promotion to do even better. I mean, they're actually doing great right now. As a boxing fan, I'm happy with the way boxing is doing, but I think it could do more. And we wanted to see it become like a primary sport, not just in the U.S. but all over the world. So, and then I think it can be that. And again, a good challenge, a competition is always good for me. But let me know what you think, guys. If you're not from the Philippines, please let me know which country you're from if ever you reach this point. And I do English and Filipino commentary. So just please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want a different vantage point or a different kind of opinion coming from Asia. Thank you guys. Salamat po.